So I will just briefly do that again. What I've got here is a spreadsheet, and I'm going to turn off the coffee filter. And this is a spreadsheet that's come straight out of Google Classroom. I'm going to click on that row there, add the coffee filter, and what I might be interested in is all of the students that have only got 1 for their first assessment. Oops, I forgot to press OK down the bottom. I'll make my screen smaller so this works. There we go. Good. Now, that can be particularly useful if I'm looking for troublemakers, and these are students that are struggling. So I might be interested in students that got 1 or 2 or 3 for that assessment, and students who got 1 or 2 or 3 for this assessment, which is everybody, and students who got 1 or 2 or 3 for this assessment. Now you can see that that is actually starting to narrow down and figure out the students that are having trouble.
Yeah.
So that filter function is incredibly useful.
So you set the filter on each columns.
Yeah, and they basically interact.
Yeah.
So there are a few things you can do with this in combination. So what I've done there is now I've got a list of all the students who have not got the top mark for those 3 assessments, but you can see that they are in alphabetical order. What I can do is I can resort them.
Yeah.
That make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Great. Okay. So that's the filtering function, really, really briefly, and that can be very useful for a stack of things. But I wanted to touch on that. The next function that I wanted to talk about, what I'll do is I'll turn off the filter. There we go. Everything's back to normal. The next one I wanted to talk about was fill. The fill function. So what if we had traffic duty and Velo is going to be my Monday person?
Yeah.
And Andy's going to be my Tuesday person, Brooke's going to be my Wednesday person.
Yeah.
Now, I'm actually not going to type all that because it's just going to take ages. I'm going to get frustrated. If I click on that cell and that little, you see how that turns into a crosshair when I hover over it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense?
Mm.
Now, so I'll just delete that and do that again. So basically, if I put any kind of data in there, it will probably work out what the next thing is. Okay?
Yep.
So if I've got, traffic duty, I might go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Obviously, there's no traffic duty on Saturdays.
Yep.
So what I can do to fix that problem is if I select that lot, copy it, and paste it here, and now I've got a nice little roster.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, what if we do traffic duty every 4 days?
Yeah.
So if I go Monday, and then I go Thursday, and basically all I have to do is select that sequence, and it will work out what the rest of the sequence is.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
But no control on Sunday.
Yeah, obviously. So then I have to do a little bit of editing. But the thing is, getting that first initial pattern worked out can be really, really great. So that's the fill option. Now, what if we wanted to combine those 2 ideas, which is the fill and the filter?
Yeah.
So say we'll just go back to Monday, and I will fill this out so that I've got right. Now, I'm going to turn the filter back on, and I would like a list of all the students who have traffic duty on Monday.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, so what we've done is we've combined those two ideas. Now, it is totally conceivable that you might wonder why Tennille is doing so incredibly badly at spelling, which might be sort of this assessment or this assessment, and you might actually correlate that to the fact that the spelling test is on Monday and she's always got traffic duty.
Yeah.
Okay, so just touching on that idea of the filter. Now, going back to the conditional formatting. Now, my wife uses this one for her reports.
Yeah.
So they have full color reports, and what they will do is that they'll have a whole lot of assessments in a spreadsheet like this, and they will say if you've got a 4, you've got green. If you've got a 3, you've got light green. If you've, and so on and so on and so on. So what I've done is I've selected all of the data, all of the numbers, and I'm going to click on Format and Conditional Formatting. Now, conditional formatting's come up with single color initially. If the cell is not empty, it's green. That's not that useful. Color scale is far more useful. Okay, so basically the minimum value is this bright green and the maximum value is white.
Right.
I'm going to reverse that. So now the maximum value is bright green and the minimum value is white. And now that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And that so that can that color is very useful for your brain, and that's going to sort of, if a teacher does that, or if a principal does that to all the data for a school, they have the ability then to sort of immediately see patterns. And when I look at this now, I am concerned about Brooke, and I am concerned about Sarah, and I didn't even see that pattern before.
Yeah. That's very good.
Cool. Okay, hey, I'm going to